Yo, so we're going to get into our first guest tonight. It's an artist named Vi Moon. He's very raw and he's a realist like myself. You know, hashtag real talk is my thing, and that is literally Vi Moon of what I've seen of him so far. If you guys are on the Facebook page, obviously give it a like if you will do. You can also check out the YouTube. It's on the pin post as well. The link's on there. And we're going to get into Vi Moon. He's live in Alabama. Let's get into it. Vi, you there, man?
Hey, what's up, Andy? How you doing, bruh?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. So welcome to HopeJamz, man. Obviously, debut on the show. How you doing today?
Man, I'm great, man. Thanks for having me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's been a pleasure chatting to you online coming up to this date, and now you're here live, so it's even a better blessing for me, man. Let's get straight into it, bro. So how did you get into the music scene?
Man, I've been rapping since I was like 10 years old. Been doing it for a long time. Been producing music since I was 12 or 13 when I got a keyboard. But, you know, I wasn't doing it for Christ, man. You know, I was doing it for myself. But, you know, I grew up in a single parent household. You feel me? Like my mom, she saved, man, and she always instilled God and Christ into me. But, you know, I strayed away from that. I always had it in the back of my mind. I never questioned my belief, but I just, I just strayed away from it, and so I was doing my own thing, man. I wouldn't call myself no thug or nothing, but I was hanging with guys, you know what I mean? And you are who you hang around. So, I was doing some street stuff or whatever, got in college, still kind of 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot in academia, doing my grades or what have you, man. But, I guess, make a long story short, in 2013, man, things started coming around full circle. I got tired of the life I was living, doing things in the streets. I got tired of just going against what I knew I was raised to be and what I was raised to believe. And I just really started taking God seriously, because I felt like, look, God, if you're real, if these stories I'm reading in the Bible are real, then you could be real in my life. And he really started to show up in different areas, man. So fast forward again, back in 2013, once I began to develop my personal relationship with Christ, I felt him tell me that he wanted to use my gift of music for him. And it's crazy because I was in a room by myself at the time. No pastor, nobody, no friend, no counselor, no parents, nobody told me that. It was just after I just gave up music altogether and just wanted to focus on him and what he wanted for my life, I felt an urge instinctively, him telling me that he wanted me to do it again and pick it up for him. So 2013 is where I got my call, if you will, and I didn't release my first track until a year and a half later, in 2014, and here we are, man. 5 years later, we're still doing it.
Yeah, man, that's solid, man. And then what's going on with you online? Because I seen that video you did, and you seem to be like, I don't know where you were, but it looked like you were in like a classroom or something, and you were telling, you kind of teaching or something, and it seemed like you were giving some real solid, real talk.
Yeah, man. We do speaking engagements. I spent time as a youth pastor. Spent about 3 years as a youth pastor at my church here before engaging into the music full time. So we get invitations to do speaking engagements, man. And I really, I have a strong desire for two particular groups. One is men. I have a strong desire and a heart for men, particularly young men, but all men in general. And I have a strong desire for youth, young boys, young girls, particularly in that adolescent to teenage age, man, because that's around the time for me that my faith really got tested. And I think that still holds true for a lot of young people today. And so, yeah, man, just doing my best to hopefully inspire, empower, or encourage young people and men, because I feel like, God put us here as leaders, not to take anything away from a woman, because, I believe there's a leader in all of us, but I just believe that when men step up and we do what God created us to do, that we set an example that trickles down through society. You know what I mean? So, just encouraging, inspiring, and empowering people to be all that God created them to be. Chase your dreams, man. First, allow God to show you who you are in him, which could take some time. and then allow him to send you and do the thing that he called you to do, you know, and be the person that he called you to be, and do it in a way that's pleasing to him, man. So doing our best to encourage people to do that, you know.
Yeah, man, that's what I like, man. When I was seeing it, and to be honest, when I seen your post and I seen the video and that, and it was like hashtag, you know, that's my thing. I put in hashtag we were talking. That's what it was, man. Everything I've seen of you so far, and also in your music as well. To be honest, it's you know what I mean. It's proper solid, and that's you know, good job for doing that, man. I like seeing that kind of thing, because that's you know what I mean. It's faith based, but you're keeping it real as well.
Yeah. You know, when I first got into this, man, I will say that a person did plant this seed in me. I was doing premarital counseling. She was my fiance at the time. This was 2011. I'm good with dates, so that's how I remember stuff. So you hear me throw dates out. So this is in 2011, and the pastor who was conducting the counseling session found out that I rap. And this is before, you know, I was, you know, giving my gifts to God. And he was like, you know, you ever thought about doing it for God and you know, gospel rapper, if you will? That's kind of how he phrased it at the time. And you know, I was respectful, and I was like, no, sir, I never thought of that. But in my mind, I was very disrespectful. I was like, man, you lost your mind. I would never do that. Because, you know, in my mind, I got to be honest with you. I saw that, you know, it just wasn't me. I didn't think it was cool. I thought it was kind of lame, to be honest with you. But, you know, God had to show me, like, hey, look, you know, you have a story to tell. You have a real story to tell, but that don't mean you have to curse and talk about this or talk about it in a derogatory manner. You can still tell your story, true stories, real stuff, and still be righteous and do it in a way that's pleasing to me. And when I got that revelation, just based on my relationship with Christ, just my personal relationship with God, when I got that revelation, man, it was like, you know, okay, well, let's see what we can do here. Let's really tell these stories and be ourselves as we tell it. You know what I mean? And it just kind of happened like that. So I do believe in being honest. And this is the thing too, you know, the thing about the younger generation that I can speak on specifically, because I work with young people, is that one thing that really gets their attention is two things, actually. One is being real, being honest, not brushing things under the rug, but being honest. And two, being an example of what you're telling them they should be. So, you know, I could be honest all day long and say, you know, don't steal. But if I got a reputation for being a thief and I'm still doing it, then that's null and void to them. So it's not just honesty, it's also being able to be an example to tell them, okay, if I'm gonna tell you not to steal, I'm not stealing. You know what I mean? And they can, that word holds weight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, being honest and allowing God to bring us to a place to where we can actually be examples and you know, be real people that they can look to say, yeah, you know, this guy's real. He makes mistakes, but for the most part, he's a solid guy, or she's a solid woman. That's a great example for me to look to, you know. So, yeah, I really believe in that.